Good evening, family. This show, this show is what it is. Uncle Clan wants you
Mm. Uncle Clan wants you.
to not have a check. So, as many of you don't know, and we want to bring some information to everybody that we should know. This should be on everybody's thoughts right now. Is Uncle Clan wants you to not have a check? Congressman Brian Babin from Texas has introduced a bill, HR 4321, AKN, just tell niggas no bill, to
Mm.
basically penalize states if states need bailout money for anything, to penalize states if states give reparations to foundational black Americans. Let that sink in. Reparations is just being talked about, being organized. It has been organized for years, but it's just being talked about. And this congressman, along with 13 of his colleagues, decided to propose a bill to the House to penalize every state if they go into if they need bailout money for anything else, if they give foundational black Americans, native black Americans money for reparations. As usual, we have Dr. Short here with us, and we're going to find some interesting things about these congressmen who have joined their colleague, Congressman Brian Babbitt out of Texas. Uh,
Mhm.
Dr. Short is going to give us some information in regards to these men. I'll just give you guys the names. We got Troy Nels out of Texas, Ronnie Jackson out of Texas, Jeff Duncan out of South Carolina, Randy Weber Sr. out of Texas, Gary Palmer out of Alabama, Timothy Wahlberg out of Michigan, Clay Higgins out of Louisiana, Paul Gosar out of Arizona, Scott Franklin out of Florida, Keith Allen Self out of Texas, Doug Lamaloff out of California, Pat Fallon out of Texas, and you know they gotta have the token one, right? Burgess Coons Owens out of Utah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Welcome, Dr. Short.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Uncle Clan don't want you to have a check. You couldn't have come up with a better title. I just want to say to everybody listening to this, and this is live, please like this. Don't wait another second. Hit the like button and share this. Tell everybody that we are on the warpath tonight. Can you still hear me? Because I need to share this with everybody.
Yes.
Everybody's got to know that this is going on, that we're talking about it. This should be on everybody's platform. It's not just us. Everybody should be out here talking about HR 4321. This is a anti-reparations movement conspiracy being led by white supremacists, neo-Nazi type people, and a black coon out in Utah, Salt Lake, probably trying to be he probably wants to wash the robes of the Klansmen in Salt Lake City, something like that.
Former
This
NFL
guy,
player.
it doesn't matter. I mean, that
Hmm.
means that they popped him on the ass in the shower. You know how they try to punk you when you play sports with white guys and feel on you. I guess they felt all over him. Ooh, I don't want my.
I lost you for a second, Dr. Short. So HR 4321, which is the name for the bill, but let's be honest, the bill is just tell niggas no bill. This is again supremacy's tactic to keep black Americans, native black Americans, as a lower class, as the bottom feeders. This is what they think. This is what they think of us. We all know that Cory Bush had introduced a bill on Juneteenth. That is HR 414, and in conjunction with HR 40, that has been on Sheila Lee's desk forever. But we're going to talk about this bill in particular. Dr. Short dropped for a second. I don't know what happened with the
Oh,
volume.
I'm here.
Oh, it's always a conspiracy. You guys don't understand in the chat that we'll be talking and Dr. Short's phone or my phone or the broadcaster just stop. So don't think that feathers aren't being ruffled and Big Brother ain't got their eye on these type of things being discussed. Go ahead, Dr. Short, as you were saying.
I was saying that this is a great name of the show. It's Tell the Niggas I Said No and I Say So bill. This is the Don't Cut the Check bill. This is Pick My Cotton and Shut Your Damn Mouth bill. Yes, I raped your grandmammy, your great grandmammy, and all of them, and it's life bees like that bill. This bill is really the Plessy versus Ferguson bill of our era. Plessy versus Ferguson was a Supreme Court decision. These people don't want us to get to the Supreme Court, the issue of reparations. They're trying to make a federal law so nothing can be done to help specifically Black people. And we need to get together and fight these bastards here and now, no matter what color. And it's heavy out of the state of Texas, where loudmouth mayoral candidate, Jamaican American Sheila Jackson Lee, is supposed to be the person heading up fighting for our reparations. And you need to understand that there's several Jamaicans in government that are opposed to Black Americans getting reparations. The lieutenant governor of Virginia is a Jamaican woman. She is against reparations. A Jamaican American congressman, Mr. Byron Donalds, in Florida, a Jamaican American, he's against reparations. Sheila Jackson Lee is a Jamaican American. She's against cash payment for reparations. And this guy out in Utah, he happens to be an FBA trader. He's against reparations. But a huge number of people are foreign Black people who are often in the Republican Party who are against reparations. There was a woman against reparations from Utah. She was Haitian. Her last name was Love, married to a white dude. First Black congressperson from Utah. hmm I want you to read that bill. Read that bill. You got the bill, don't you?
No, I could pull it up real quick.
You might be. Let me see if I can send it to you. Now, I'm going to send you a couple of things and share it in the chat. We got a few minutes. Let me send some things to you. I'm sending you the legislative activities for this dude. I'm sending you that. I just sent it to you. Post that for him. I'm sending you the Republican Accountability Report card where he has an F grade. This is Brian Babin. I just sent that to you. Tell me as you get them. And if you look up Brian Babin, I'm sending you the Wikipedia bio. Share that with them. So we're not picking on nobody. We're telling the truth on people. Nothing like the truth. That really makes people mad. Mm, mm, mm. And I'm gonna send you something on Brian's how he gets his funding. The numbers don't add up. Are you getting these things, brother?
Yeah, I'm getting them.
Yeah. Tell the people wait just a little bit longer. We just want to make certain that you actually have something. Now I want to send you something. One more thing from Ancestry. No, do it this way. Now I just sent you the slave schedule from 1850, where Mr. Babin's family owned 20 black people in Louisiana. I didn't find what they had in 1860. But when you own 20 people, you own a lot of folks. That makes you rich slaveholders. Hmm? That's big time. So look at this hypocrite who's against human trafficking if you look at his legislative record. But what's the bigger human trafficking thing than the hundreds of thousands of people brought here from Africa and hundreds of thousands of indigenous people here, sold Southwest, from New England, South. He thinks that it's wrong if it's happening to other people, just not to black people. You can traffic black people, that's all right. You traffic other people, that's wrong. That should be stopped. Something should be done to help them. Are y'all hearing me? Okay. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Dr. Trill. I put it all up
There's an
now.
echo.
Hold on.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I still hear it. Well, hold on. Let me come back right back then. Now,
You guys look up this Congressman Brian Babin. This is all the information we got on him. You know, he's like Dr. Short explained. His family has owned over 20 slaves. Look at him up on answer.com and understand that this war that's going on, this battle that's been going on, it hasn't gone nowhere. It's continued to go on. And those people with larger platforms, namely mainstream news, why they're not talking about this? This bill wasn't introduced Saturday night in the dark room. This bill was introduced on the House floor, and we haven't heard anything about it from mainstream media, preferably those black faces that love to tell us all this stuff about the right, and racism, and all this. Why they haven't mentioned none of this stuff?
right. And let's just go. I still have this echo, and this says there are two people on the line.
How's it now?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, no echo. All right. Look, we don't need to drag this out much longer. We're bringing some information to you. I want everybody to look up this guy, Brian Babin. He's from down in Texas. He and 13 other Republican members of Congress, including Lil Coon-ass black one, who's out in Utah, have introduced a bill that if it passes the House, it gets to the Senate. If they ratify it into law, it would mean that any city, town, state, county that did anything to help black people around slavery, that they'd be cut off permanently from federal funding forever. No one can make an amend to what's been done to black people and receive money from the federal government ever again.
Family, I hope y'all listen to what Dr. Short just said and
And
understand
what
the importance of stopping this bill, because if it gets to the Senate, it's going to get passed.
and understand, reparations isn't just a check. Reparations could be scholarships. Reparations could be housing assistance. However they decide to understand this, because it's going to have a life of its own if it ever became law. They would find a way to take everything that they could. And the excuse would be, we can't do anything. We can't even give you SNAP because we'll lose federal funding for helping you. This is a way to say black people are owed nothing forever. And if anyone white even dares to care or to feel or try to make amends, we'll get your ass too.
This literally handcuffs the states, which some of these
Cities,
states,
towns,
want.
counties.
Yes.
Nobody can do anything. Look, has there been a bill like this in history before that became law? Yes, guys. It's called the Fugitive Slave Acts, where everybody had to police and be against black people or go to jail or be fined or persecuted. They're making a law They're trying to make a law in which everybody's got to hate the way that these people down south say they got to, or else most of these
This law will
most
cripple. Go ahead,
most of
doctor.
these
Excuse me.
congressmen are in the South or the West. Nobody's from a state that isn't, for example, and these are all Trump people. I'm very straight with people. Trump, I can work with him. A lot of people that associate with Trump, they're problems. And that's true in both parties. And I always say to people, hate both parties equally. Get the best deal you can from whoever you can get it from. That's
For
very
those,
different from the Democrat or die Boule or the black Republicans who attack everything black to try to get crumbs from white people on the right.
so for those who want to praise Gavin Newsom out in California and say that the Reparations Commission is trying to do some things and thinks that is good, this law, if put into practice, I don't care how progressive a city, a state, or a county is and what they want to do, like Dr. Short said for reparations, they will literally get handcuffed because the federal government will not give them money if this
That
law is
means for
put in place.
schools, for services, basically, if you give the niggas a penny, we'll take everything from all of y'all. Meaning that they've incentivized racism, institutional and structural racism on a new level against. Don't even try to fix nothing for blacks or we'll get you.
So if your town is in the flood zone and you need
No
some
flood money.
government
You
money,
help niggas. You help niggas find a kayak or a canoe. Shouldn't they
so if you out west and your town is in a tornado zone,
You help niggas, you know, get some Lego blocks. I don't know. You
so if
shouldn't have
you
given.
so if you in South Florida and a hurricane season is coming around,
Well, I know the alligator's going to eat good now.
no mo- no money for you because you help niggas.
Right. And the alligators will eat good. That's good for the environment. Less
So
carbon emissions.
so if you choose to not pay attention to what's going on with these reparations in this bill, and you want to be oblivious and say, well, black people never get money and this, that, and the third, and you want to choose to take that approach. If this particular bill gets passed, and then you have some social services, you fall on hard times,
Mm.
and your particular state gave some money for reparations, know that this bill will affect you.
So if you're on Black Wall Street, and let's say that they reverse the decision of that little cracker judge, if this passed, they would punish the whole state for just one case being won. No matter how many people were killed, no matter how much property was stolen, no matter how wrong, no matter whether people's hearts changed, they all of a sudden saw Jesus, wanted to be nice, give everybody a check, can't do it, or we'll hurt everybody white for helping one black person. Let me give you the principle. That's what used to work for what's called a closed shop.
So you veterans out there,
Or yeah, but let's look at unions. It used to be if there was a major, say, automobile plant with 15,000 workers in it, if you hire one black, every single white person would walk off the job. Just to keep even one black from getting a job, we'll all walk off ours. See, what they're doing is reverse collective punishment. If anybody white breaks ranks and starts becoming a nigger lover, we'll treat you worse than a nigger. See, I grew up in the South and I get it. I knew people, kids, I mean, if they were nice to someone black, they'd get beat by their parents. Hate anyway, hate, even if they're good, no nigger's good, stop thinking, trust me, they'll do something bad. Or the parent would go and lie and say, I saw your friend steal something. I told y'all niggas were bad. You can't talk to them anymore. And say, well, Dad, where'd you see him stealing? Do you live in this house? Do you eat at my table? Are you suggesting that I lied, son? No, Papa, just I know that nigga stole. Now, do you want to pay the store $50 for what the nigga stole? Or do you want me to whoop your ass and pay the $50 for what the nigga stole? Or let me just whip your ass anyway for questioning me since you like nigga this. Did you help him steal? No, Papa. Then I tell you what, you stop talking to niggas if you're going to live in my house unless you want to live with niggas and never see your mother and your sisters and brothers again. You stop talking. You question me in my house. We know what they are. You don't know. And you'd have people change on you. I don't think they were bad. They learned. I had a friend, I always tell people the story. One day I saw him. He spoke to me. We spoke for a second. I turned my back, and a couple of seconds later, I could hear his father beating his ass for talking to me. I'm black. I never visited his house. He wasn't a close friend, just him acting like a human being. Had he come out and tried to hit me, Dad would have probably taken him out for some ice cream. But he talked to me like a person. I didn't bring my son up to be like this. No nigga's gonna ruin my house, right? We don't. The thing about a lot of black folks is we're incredibly trifling and we're weak, and we don't understand that just because you want to live in peace doesn't mean someone wants to live in peace with you. So someone's at war with your existence, even though you believe in live and let live. Did they let the Indians live and let live? Did they let the Vietnamese live and let live? The Cambodians live and let live? Vietnamese, Indonesians, Iraqis, Afghanis, the Russians, the Koreans, the El Salvadorans, the people in Colombia, Panama, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Are they letting them live and let live in Somalia? Little secret covert wars that they have in other places, and Chile, Argentina, and Grenada, Cuba, Congo. I mean, we can do the whole world where people couldn't live and let live. That's not the mindset of the people with which we deal.
Dr. Short, I got a little background, right?
Okay.
And you probably remember this, years ago. But anyway, for the conversation purposes, I'm gonna tell some people about my background. I am a chef. I went to culinary school, as well as I know how to butcher. So I know how to. Some people know how to kill animals. Some people know how to cut them up in what we would consider cosmetic cuts of meat that can come to your neighborhood butcher stop or supermarket. And one thing about animals is animals are very instinctive. So if you're hoarding a bunch of animals, over a period of time, the animals know that they're being hoarded to slaughter. Unfortunately, when we compare, and I'm never going to compare our people to animals, our people are being slaughtered, and it's like we don't care. What Dr. Short just described was we have this thing in us that continues to tell us, oh, it's going to be all right. We've been getting our asses kicked for the last 400 or 500 years in this country. And for some reason, we think that it's okay. It's not wartime. Now, we're not telling anybody to go out there and commit any acts of violence, but to be prepared and be observant and know what's going on. These people have introduced a bill that will literally put shackles financially on you going forward if it's passed.
And economic warfare is a precursor to physical warfare.
And where are our black speakers? Where are so-called black influential people on a Saturday night wanting to talk about this. They're complicit. And this is what Dr. Short and Dr. Winter's been telling. And people act like, it's, people paranoid, it's no boule. No, it is the boule because they're complicit with their silence. People's silence give these type of individuals the pass to do what they want to do so they can get their butter biscuits and their crumbs. They're complicit. Cori Bush, like I said, she introduced a bill on Juneteenth because you know why? Black people love symbolicism. We love it. HR 40 been on Sheila Lee E's desk for a couple years now that I know.
And the bill is back from the 80s. It's over 40 years old.
Yes, when Congressman Connors presented the bill.
And it's never gotten 100% support, but we have supported illegals, Asians, and gays. 100% of the caucus has been for them, or for Ukrainians, and Jews, but not.
We got the Defense Department losing money, billions of dollars. We got J.P. Morgan Chase having a boatload of cocaine in the Philadelphia port. Nobody knows nothing. Everybody's complicit to continue to keep Black Americans at a bottom class. But it's no boule. Come on, y'all. This type of information is just, it's you don't have to go under a rock to find this stuff. But every weekend we, doing what we do, hooping and hollering and not realizing that this is your open enemy. So treat him as your open enemy. I don't know, Dr. Short. I don't really have much to say. I'm just, I'm not surprised if you have explained to me of how these people work. So I'm not surprised that none of the mainstream people have said anything. Nobody. All these people talking about happy about certain candidates running for presidency. Nobody said nothing. Nobody on the House said nothing. You didn't hear none of the far left, the people as that champion Black Lives Matters. But when does Black Lives matter? After somebody gets killed? Or when, like Dr. Short said, after you want the illegals to come in the country? Or after you want to pass a bill for LGBTQ and whatever other alphabet they got? This is how you kill reparations before it even leaves the state level or the county level or the municipality level. This is how you kill it. This is how you nip it in the bud. So all of us fighting for reparations, all of us want to say we're reparationists, want to be part of this and that, and want to use differences to knock each other for what they're doing as far as the reparations movement. This is, as they say, this is the chess move. You've been pushing pawns and they used their queen just now. So hopefully we'll be aware. Hopefully this bill won't get passed. Hopefully more attention is to this. Hopefully some of the constituents in these particular states where these congressmen are from will flood their timeline, let them know how they feel on Twitter, let them know, because they care about their social media handles. They care about what their constituents say. Or do they? Or is this the pulse of their constituents? But Black Lives Matter is only a slogan. Dr. Short, you had anything else? So pay attention, people. Pay attention to what's going on. With that, we're going to close out the show. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Remember, hit Dr. Short's Cash App. Dr. Randy Short at Cash App. Support the channel. Support what we're trying to do. And remember, as a lot of our elders used to say, is to be aware is to be alive. To be alive is to be aware. I remember the phrase my uncle used to say. So don't let this stuff go in vain. You know, a lot of people are championing what people are doing and putting the work on the grassroots level. So remember, you guys, like, share, and subscribe. Take care. Have a blessed night.